that rhythm.
I don't know, but it's 7:05. If he does, welcome to another episode of Hoosier Nerds Podcast. You got Chris, and Tim. Mikey might be joining us later. We don't know. I hope he does. But anyways, we got. Let's get you with a hook right at the beginning. We got Chris and I did 31 days of Halloween, so we each got 31 scary Halloween-esque movies we're going to talk about. Tim will do his best. He didn't prepare, but that's okay. We only make fun of him a little. But first,
don't forget things, okay? I'm sorry, everybody.
He probably don't watch anything past a PG because he's scared because he's a pussy, I'm sure. So.
Yeah, he's probably watching Star Trek at the time.
What's your favorite scary Star Trek episode?
Oh, there's so many good ones.
No, scary Star Trek episodes.
There's so many good ones.
There are some good scary ones, like the virus, the macro virus. That's pretty scary.
First, look in the group chat when you get a chance.
Anyway, what else are we gonna talk about?
Let's talk about the cult that is Taylor Swift fans.
Holy shit, these people are wackadoodles. I swear to God. And
I'm definitely. Of it. Tim posted a meme of the scary movies or the scary episodes.
Scary Star Trek episodes.
Yeah.
They're crazy. Travis Kelce. So she showed up at the Chiefs game and did all that.
It was a rumor beforehand that they were Travis Kelce and Taylor were dating.
So she shows up. She's sitting with his mom, and they're laughing and carrying on. It's such a show. Like then I could see through her bullshit. I'm sorry, I see right through it. It's all for show. Meanwhile, her stupid ass followers has to spend thousands of dollars on tickets and another $1,000 on merchandise and other stupid shit. Travis Kelce's jersey sales have gone up 400%.
I thought I saw 500.
I saw 400. Maybe it went up more. Well, all they're going to do is just end up burning those things. So it's a waste of.
As soon as they break up, there's her. I can already see the title of 2 of her new songs, Travis and the Chiefs.
Travis. Oh God, why would you that's a waste of what are they, like $125, $130 for a jersey?
Travis Kelce jerseys are probably $125, $130.
That's replica.
Probably more.
That's replica. That's not a real jersey. They're probably $250, $275 maybe for a real jersey.
Did you see the?
We'll give them the benefit of the doubt, and they're buying replica jerseys. So they'll be burning those, which is chump change to a Taylor Swift fan because you've already got to spend, $2,000 on a freaking concert ticket. So I guess $125 is nothing.
No, that's nothing. They'll mortgage their house. They'll refinance their house or their car for that.
What a bunch of followers! Oh my God, think for yourself. So now, people are gonna root for the Chiefs because Taylor Swift does.
Yeah, it is, and.
I'm telling you, if she microwaved her own turd and ate it and put it on social media, everybody else would do it.
It'll be like Belle Delphine or whatever her name was. She's going to sell bath water, and all the simps will buy it.
Right. Well, I mean, don't celebrities sell underpants? They've done that before, right? Too, right?
I mean,
underpants.
Porn stars do, but I don't know about celebrities.
I'm telling you, if South Park don't jump on this idea, I'm telling you, it's got to be Cartman somehow be with his boy band or Faith Plus One or one, something, finger bag. He gets super popular and he starts doing stupid shit because he realizes how stupid people are. And they do the same thing he does because he's doing it and he figures it out. So he just keeps on doing ridiculous things, like just talking about ridiculous things, believing ridiculous things. I mean, why wouldn't it's a perfect South Park episode.
They're probably already got it written and moving.
Problem with South Park is they tend to touch on topical things that are happening. They usually make their episodes a week or two before or during the week.
I know. That's what I said. They're missing out big time.
I think that out of season tend to not get covered really that much.
She signed
South Park Taylor Swift special.
Think of it. She signed up. What did they say? There were 40,000 people registered to vote because she told people to.
Yeah.
That's scary power. I wouldn't want to have that kind of power. And if I did have that kind of power, I would say, do your homework. Don't believe what I believe.
The problem is that, like, it's good that, she got people to vote. The problem is they're just going to vote for who she wants to win.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, whatever she says, if she says,
we already
I'm
know
voting
she's a Hillary supporter.
Well, she's a media star, so they're all Democrats, anyways.
Right.
Oh well, it's a cult. Like, if you don't
It
think
is.
it
She
is,
has a serious cult. No, it is a cult. She's a witch. I'm telling you. She has sold her soul. Did you see that video I posted in the group? Probably not, but it's about Ricky Schroeder. He was talking about seeing this video.
I think if
So
you
Rick,
really your soul, we're all nuts.
okay, so Rick Schroeder was a child star in the 80s, basically. He was huge. Every girl thought he was hot. He did a movie called The Champ when he was a little kid. Then he had a show on TV called Silver Spoons. It was really huge. He ended up on NYPD Blue, I think, in the 90s. It became Rick Schroeder. He does this video at TikTok, and I sent it to you guys, and it talks about how he was at this party back in the day, and he saw this videotape with like this cult sex act thing, and the names were humongous, like the big name celebrities, hugely named celebrities were part of this whole thing. And somebody, like his agent or friends, like, dude, you've got to get rid of that tape. You do not want to own that tape. You don't want anything to do with that tape. Get rid of it right now. And it's funny because these are the actors that like are moving, and like if they live in California, they like live out in the middle of BFE in a ranch, or I think he lives in Utah. I think is where he lives, or someplace like that, or Nevada. But I'm telling you, man, that whole celebrity, she's like the queen of it. I'm telling you right now, she is the queen of it.
Illuminati at its finest.
It's exactly right. The more I watch this stuff and see these, they're not rumors. They're not, because there's never anything that disputes them ever. You never see it. Even if they're posted on Twitter. I know Chris can't see. Or X, but like there's never any notes that dispute anything. So God, you sound like those freaking people that try to schedule a damn appointment while they're cleaning out their shelves in their garage or something.
I'm sorry,
What the hell are you doing, man?
I shook my fries out of my container. I'm eating. What do you want from me? I was here on time. I was waiting.
That's what people do when they're on the phone scheduling doctors.
Oh my
appointments.
God!
They move shit around all over the place. It's like, I want to schedule an appointment.
Yeah, I had a patient crying, screaming baby. I can't complain. They were scheduling.
I hate crying, screaming babies.
But it was like,
oh God, I have to listen to you all the time.
You're so funny. What an asshole.
Love you too, Tim.
That was pretty good.
That was pretty good. But no, it's because, like you said, as soon as they break, or as soon as they break up, it's gonna be burn Central.
Oh, no doubt about it. Oh, she's gonna write a whole album, and it's gonna be over dramatic, and like half the shit probably never really happen.
Yeah, but everyone's gonna believe her because it's Swift.
I think she lives in this like goofy ass fantasy world, like the people like you see her do like on Saturday Night Live or Jimmy Fallon. I think that's the way she is like all the time, and I think it's this bizarre world that she lives in. And she's like a teenager or like a preteen, like a 12 or 14-year-old, you know what I mean? And I think she acts like that all the time, and I think that's why she can't keep a boyfriend. And she blows everything out of proportion, and everything's over dramatic.
I have your address now, right? I could just send Swifties at you.
You can do what? I don't care.
I'll send them at you.
Are you a secret Swiftie? Is that he's getting upset, Chris?
Ain't nothing secret about it, baby.
He's out of the closet. He's a Swiftie.
No, I'll say right now. I think I said it in the last podcast. I don't think any of her songs have been good in a while. Her last album or two has not been the best.
I saw her on an award show and she was like really young. Like she was singing Tim McGraw. You know that song, Tim McGraw?
Yeah.
And it was terrible. Like she's not a good singer.
No, I think she's a good singer.
I think she needs a lot of practice to be a good singer. I don't think she can just sing. I think she has to practice a lot to sound good.
Well, that's you know,
I mean, I'm the same way. That's why I don't sing, Chris, because I'm not a good singer. If I practice a lot,
I'm glad you don't sing because I bet all the dogs start howling.
If I practice a lot, I can get by. If I just go out there and sing, like come on, like Kelly Clarkson, she can just go out there and sing, and it's gonna be
Adele.
awesome. You know what I mean? Adele, yeah. You know she's not those.
Speaking of people that can sing, Kimberly and I got concert tickets. We're gonna go see Dan and Shay.
Oh, that's exciting.
I know. It was just random. It made me think of it. We're going to Columbus to see the concert.
Wow. How many Dan and Shay songs can you name?
A few. Better Houses, I think is what's called. Tequila. Kimberly's gonna kill me because they're her favorite band.
Yeah, they're all radio songs too that you name.
Yeah. Shut
up. I could name Taylor Swift songs, and I only name the songs that are popular on the radio. Right?
But no, dude, let's get. You want to get the meat and potatoes of it now? Or is there anything, any housekeeping stuff we want to deal with?
The Raiders suck. I'm still boycotting them, and you know I remembered the boycott. Right? It is so much easier than I thought it was going to be, Chris.
It's easy when they suck.
It's easy when they suck. They're terrible. I cannot wait till they fire Josh McDaniels, and I think that Aiden O'Connell should get the call for starting.
I got two questions. So one question. Who do you guys, if you had to put money on it, what do you think will happen first? Russ will get benched or McDaniels fired?
I think McDaniels will get fired.
I think if they keep letting Russ cook, I think Russ will get benched first.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, that's possible. Garoppolo ain't even playing this weekend. He's in concussion protocols.
I think I have hope on that. Is the Purdue guy going to start?
I don't know. They got freaking Hoyer. I would rather see O'Connell start, but every time he's a rookie, so I maybe just give him a little more time. Let the other guys start. You know what I mean?
Is it just me, or is when Hoyer has time to prepare, he sucks, but when he comes in off the bench, he's actually okay?
Yeah. You know, I'm fine if they don't start O'Connell. That's fine. Give the kid a break. You know, he's a rookie. Give him some time to sit on the bench, learn the plays. Mm-hmm. But Garoppolo, dude, I'm like, he's an idiot. He threw into triple coverage the other night, and he had freaking Hunter Renfrow wide open in the end zone. That's how bad of a quarterback he is. We paid all the money to that guy.
So did the 49ers, but the 49ers knew when to sell.
Exactly. So it is what it is. I have no problem not wearing Raiders stuff this year.
And the Colts with the big upset. No one thought they were going to win.
I told you Minshew is the guy. They shouldn't have won. That's Baltimore in Baltimore.
Minshew should be the starter for the next few. Even if he comes back if Richardson comes back with after the concussion, Minshew should be the starter at least for this season.
I agree. I like Garner. I like him a lot. I think he's a good quarterback.
But
all right, back to the meat and potatoes. Sorry, here we go.
You want to start, Chris? You want to do your list first, or do you want me to do my list?
I can start. No, I'll start.
All right,
that's cool.
You start first. So no particular order except for your top 5, right?
Right. No particular order. I did not list on these like horror comedies like Zombieland or Shaun of the Dead or Tucker and Dale versus Evil. And I didn't put any or Return of the Living Dead. I didn't add any of those. No
series. Each one has to stand on its own. So no like Insidious 1 and Insidious counts as the entire series. You have to take up a spot with Insidious 1, Insidious 2, or The Conjuring 1, Conjuring 2.
Right. So I didn't include comedy movies at all. So,
I think
horror comedies.
Can I look at my list real quick? I might have, but
because like Return of the Living Dead is hysterical.
I have like 1 or 2, but they're also kind of scary or funny and scary.
Because like Shaun of the Dead, I love Shaun of the Dead, but I did not.
Shaun of the Dead is awesome.
And Zombieland, the first Zombieland, the second one sucked. But I didn't add those. But here we go. So my 31, we'll go 31 to 6. And this is just how I wrote them out. How I thought. So I've got the Lost Boys with
I
Kiefer
forgot
Sutherland.
about that. I didn't think about that for some
Dude,
reason.
that movie is so good. It's got the two Corys in it. Kiefer Sutherland. Diane Wiest is in it. Where did Tim go?
I don't know.
Diane Wiest is in it. Ed, whatever his name is, I don't know. That other guy's in it. That's a great movie. Jason Patrick. But I that almost didn't make the list. I did some shuffling so I could get that on the list. The Halloween reboot, the Rob Zombie's Halloween from 2009, I think.
It's not a bad Halloween reboot.
I love the reboot. I really love the reboot. I love
Do
the
you have any
backstory.
other ones on it, or just that one?
That is the only of the I only have that. That's the only Halloween movie I have on this part of the list.
Okay.
But I don't have any sequels.
Okay.
And I don't have any other Rob Zombie movies on there. I think Rob Zombie's more for shock value than he is for like
I've
scare
always
value.
thought Rob Zombie was overrated, and I hate to say that, but
I
like
have no other Rob
he
Zombie
is more
movie.
shock. It's like, okay, how is he
Yes.
going to tear this person apart?
How can he gross us out? That's the way. I'm not going to rewatch another Rob Zombie movie. I've seen it. I might, if somebody hasn't seen it, I'll watch it. But other than that Halloween, I've seen that Halloween 2 or 3 times. I think that's a great movie. Sinister, which of course that movie scared the crap out of me. I'm
That
not
movie
gonna
scared
lie.
the crap out of me too.
This is an old one, not old one, but it's probably one that heard of enough. It's called Ghost Story. It came
I want to
out
say I've heard of it.
and it came out in 1981. And actually, it has Fred Astaire in it, John Houseman, Douglas Fairbanks Jr. These are like old time actors. Patricia
Yeah.
Neal, and it's about these group of guys that have this secret, and the secret is
Oh.
this about this woman that died in this accident, and they try to figure out the story. It's 4 successful elderly gentlemen, members of the Chowder Society, share a gruesome 50-year-old secret. But it's a good movie. I haven't seen it in years, but I remembered it, and it's a good. I enjoyed it. It's on Amazon Prime, actually, if you want to check it out. But it's called Ghost Story. It's really good. Creep Show. I forgot about that one. That's not really scary. That's more funny. Then I've got my next movie I have is Paranormal Activity.
Really?
Yes, the first one is really good.
I guess the first one is good compared to
the ones after that I didn't like. But the first one I enjoyed quite a bit. Next one, Night of the Living Dead, because that's the original George Romero. Even though it's been riff-tracked, it's a staple. That sets the bar for zombie movies, really. You know what I mean? Without Night of the Living Dead, we don't have zombie movies. We don't have Shaun
Land
of
of the
the
Dead,
Dead,
Shaun of the Dead.
Shaun of the Dead, and all the other ones there. These next two are Vincent Price movies, because you got to have Vincent Price on your list. I firmly believe. House of Wax, that's a good one. Not the Paris Hilton House of Wax, although that Paris Hilton House of Wax is not to be slept on. That's a good movie. And then the other one is House on Haunted Hill. In all its cheesiness, it's still. I saw that as a kid, and it scared me. The next one is The Babadook. Have you seen that?
That is a good movie. Yeah.
Dude, that movie's scary. It really is. I've got American Werewolf in London, which probably could have went under the comedy thing, but that was still scary at the same time. I remember watching it as a kid when I wasn't supposed to. Next
Best
up,
time to watch stuff.
Poltergeist.
Yep.
That clown scared the hell out of me, and it was PG, which made it worse because that means I could watch it. You know what I mean? I've got Annabelle, of course. The first Annabelle. All the other ones are just kind of like it's Annabelle. The next one I have is Hostel. It's an Eli Roth movie. Have you seen it? Where these people go stay? They go stay
I've
at a
heard of it.
hostel.
it came out when I was not allowed to watch it. Let's put it
Oh,
that way.
yeah. They go to a hostel and stay, and then they get drugged, and like these people pay money to torture humans. Is basically what it
Yes,
is.
it's basically was one of the first, like, I hate to say torture porn, but that's kind of the best way I can put it. It was one of the first torture porn
It's
scary
disturbing.
movies.
Yeah, it is disturbing, and it's definitely cringe. It'll make you cringe. Um, the reboot of Last House on the Left.
I
Um,
don't think I've seen that one actually.
I want to look up and see who is in it, but
Oh, you
I know
just
it's
reminded
got
me of a movie. I need to adjust.
I
Need
know
to.
it's got Monica Potter in it. She's been in quite a few movies. Um, Michael Bowen, Martha McIsaac. She was in Martha McIsaac was in Superbad. Um, and then the chick, what's her name? Sarah Paxton. She was in Aquamarine and The Barbarian. So that's a disturbing movie. I remember watching. I went to the movie and seen that. That was kind of
What was it
disturbing.
called?
Last House on the Left.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. You named off a couple other movies, and I kind of got lost.
Jeepers Creepers,
Oh, why did I not think of that movie?
because we all have that fear of driving by somebody dumping a body and then they come after us. Forget that he's a monster. That alone, driving down some, you know, country road and you're in the middle of nowhere, just, having a nice drive and you go past, you see some guy dumping a body. And then the next thing you know, he's behind you. I mean, that's terror right there. I can
And
relate
then
to.
another thing that's scary is like he's like eating you,
Yeah.
and that's like another fear.
The next one I have up is this was Horror of Dracula, and I picked this. It came out in 1958. It has two Star Wars people in it. Actually, it has Christopher Lee and Grand Moff Tarkin too. Um, yeah. Um, hold on. House of Dracula. He plays Peter Cushing. Peter Cushing was Van Helsing. Christopher Lee is Count Dracula. Christopher Lee was my Dracula growing up. Like whenever they showed Dracula movies on TV, actually Michael Gow's in it too. Michael Gow was Pennyworth, was Alfred in the Batman movies, the Michael Keaton Batman, the first three Batmans, Batman Forever,
Mm-hmm.
Batman and Robin. Yeah,
The good
Michael.
ones.
Yeah, Michael Gow's in that one too, but he was in this. Those movies scared me. Christopher Lee was a great Dracula. And he made Dracula movies for about 10 or 12 years, probably, maybe more, maybe 13, 14 years.
Okay.
But any Dracula movie with Christopher Lee, I was scared of. But I picked that one because it has Peter Cushing as Van Helsing, and he comes back as Van Helsing like in a
Can
later
we talk
movie.
about an underrated movie, and that is the Van Helsing movie with Wolverine?
Yeah, it is. It's popcorn movie. You know what I mean? It really is fun, but
Uh huh.
yeah, that's a good one too. The It is a good one. Yeah, the movie
I
version.
For some reason I put it more as a comedy in my head.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, that makes sense. The next one I have is Trick or Treat.
I love that movie. That movie was underrated
It's
for some reason in my head.
extremely underrated. This one's got like a point one, so it's like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but the original, but the reboot
Mhm.
is really good as well. It does the
Really, I
reboot
didn't like the
does
reboot.
the reboot no the first reboot, the very first reboot,
Oh,
not the
okay.
sequels. The very first reboot with Justin Timberlake's wife. What's her name? She's in it.
Hmm.
I thought that was a good movie, but you can't beat Texas Chainsaw Massacre, right? I've got The Conjuring, of course, the first one. Friday the 13th, the original, the very first one.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that one. Of course, Nightmare on Elm Street. You have to have Nightmare on Elm Street on your list because we've all dreamed about the boogeyman chasing us in our dreams, which
And what
leads
if I
us.
don't have it on my list?
You don't know what you're talking about because it's a great horror movie. But anyway, that's my opinion. It doesn't matter. Whatever you want. Freddy versus Jason is a great movie. you're pitting two of the greatest horror characters in movie history against each other. So we will go with that. The next up, I have Hellraiser. Right?
I was never allowed to watch Hellraiser.
It's pretty creepy in its day. It was scary in its day. I've got Evil Dead on there. That was kind of messed up. And then the 26th one I have is The Witch.
The Witch was underrated.
The Witch is extremely underrated.
People said it was bad, but
it's
I
not
actually
bad.
really
It
enjoyed
is so tense. I sat there. I was tense the whole movie.
Yeah.
So now we're at my top 5. Now these are in order, top 5 in order from 5 to 1, because I rated these. First off, I rated these based off of the importance of the movie to the horror genre. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, I think these are some are 5 of the most important horror movies of all time. At 5, I've got Blair Witch Project.
Okay.
And the reason I have it so high is because it wasn't the first found footage movie ever, but it stamped its place in movie history as the first valid found footage movie that set off Paranormal Activity, Cloverdale, and however many else we have now.
If it wasn't for that movie, there would not have probably been a whole found footage genre.
Right. No found footage, no videotape to show, no raw generic movie. You know what I mean? Like Paranormal Activity and stuff. Number 4 I have is Scream. The original Scream from 1996. The reason I picked that at 4, because by 1996, the horror genre was dead at the theater. Nobody was going to horror movies. They weren't even putting out horror movies. And if they were like those cheesy ass straight to video horror movies.
I remember there was a lot of those cheesy straight to.
Yes. There was no more horror. Like, you didn't go see horror movies I mean, they tried with those Halloween movies. They were pretty shitty.
Mm-hmm.
But that one pretty much ignited
the flare.
Yeah, it did. It started to back up. The horror genre got a kick in the butt because of Scream. Halloween is at number 3, the original 1978 version of Halloween, the very first Halloween. Because everybody's afraid of the boogeyman. He was the boogeyman. He did chase babysitters. He killed babysitters. And that set the whole slasher thing. I know people say Psycho set the slasher. He wasn't really a slasher. I mean, yeah, he killed people, but he was just kind of like goofy and weird. He wasn't a monster per se.
Yeah.
He was like a psychological whack job because of his mom. Number 2, I have The Exorcist.
Yep.
Because that's so high. It's because when it came out, it was extremely I can't even talk. Controversial.
Yep, there we go.
Controversial. It's extremely controversial. Like, people were passing out in the movie theaters and fainting, and they were getting sick from watching it. And it was controversial for its day. I remember watching it as a kid and being terrified. I mean, that whole being possessed by the devil, I mean, that's a legit thing. And how did she get possessed by the devil, Chris? Do you know?
I don't remember.
She played with the damn Ouija board. Stay away from the Ouija board. She's spitting out pieces.
It's always the Ouija board.
Yep. Your head will be turning around, talking about your mom sucking.
You'll be puking up pea soup.
Spitting up pea soup and showing your vagina to people, and you don't need that. So stay away from Ouija boards. You end up like Reagan from The Exorcist, which is a new Exorcist movie coming out in October. I'm pretty stoked about.
I like pretty much all Exorcist movies. It's just that is the genre that kind of gets me scared.
Because it can happen. I mean, it happens all the time.
It's not like zombies or, stuff like that where it's like, yeah, okay, or like Halloween.
Right. Yeah.
Evil dies tonight.
Yes. And they're not cartoony like Freddy Krueger, but Freddy Krueger was not cartoony in the first Nightmare on Elm Street. He was just straight up scary. But I get it. And then, of course, my number 1 horror movie of all time, and you'll probably be surprised. I mean, you might be surprised by this. I don't know. I'm picking the 1931 Bela Lugosi Dracula.
Classic. Can't go wrong.
Because without that Dracula, we do not have horror movies. I really firmly believe.
Is
That
that
is
the Bram Stoker one?
Well, every Dracula is a Bram Stoker one for the most part.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if that was like
This is like the original one, like
the
the original
original
black
one.
and white.
Right. He was, children of the night. What's beautiful music, whatever, when they're howling, the wolves are howling or whatever. Right? And it has Van Helsing in it. He was the very first. I don't know if he was the first Dracula, but he would put Dracula on the map. Without that, and I mean, when Universal put that out, so Universal put this, Universal Studios, that created the whole monster universe. You had the Mummy, you had Frankenstein, you had the Wolfman, you have Frankenstein versus the Wolfman, you have the Bride of Frankenstein, you have all the Mummy movies out there. I just, I think to me that is the number one horror movie of all time because I know Nosferatu was the very first quote unquote scary movie, but I didn't see it. It's silent. But I think that Dracula starts the whole genre that we know in movies today as horror movies. So there you go. So that's my top 5. Stuff that didn't make the list was like Candyman didn't make the list. What's the one with the not the Crazies? The Crazies is a good movie though. Was it The Others is a good horror movie? Not really a horror. It's like a ghost movie, but it's not scary. And what's the movie with Liv Tyler where they're in the middle of nowhere and uh, Strangers? That's a good one too. That didn't make my list
I've
either.
seen it, but I can't think of it.
That's the one where they get like these people start aggravating them while they're in their house, and they come in and they've got them tied
That's
up. And they're
right.
like, "Why are you doing this?" They're like,
And it
"Because
ends
you
up
answered.
being
Because
like,
you were home."
yeah,
So like, don't be home. So I'm sure there's other horror movies out there, but those are my favorites. Those are my top 31 favorites. So there you go.
I don't argue
Right.
with that. All right,
There's no Chucky, no Pumpkinhead.
That's all right.
Oh, you know what's a good underrated movie is Silver Bullet. It is a Stephen King movie. It has Corey Haim in it and the buttered sausage guy, Gary Busey. That is a
Okay.
really, really, really good movie. I'm not lying. It's on streaming on Max, so you can check it out.
If you have Max
We have
or
Max.
other
You
ways
have
to.
Max.
No,
I
I
was
was
talking
saying
to you.
I was saying other people.
I was talking to you directly, Chris. You should check it out.
I was talking to other people.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's a really good movie. I highly recommend it. It's just a basic 80s. It's really good. So check that one out too. Silver Bullet. All right, there you go.
Okay.
And on to you, Chris. Please tell us your top 31.
All right. No particular order. I didn't even do a top.
Loser.
I know. That's just how I am.
Yeah, what a loser.
All right. If you want some sort of order of how I did it, this is, I did it, and I'm gonna start like what I thought of last to what I thought of first.
Okay, that's cool.
So if that makes you think of what comes to mind first, so what I thought of first in my list will be last. So 31 would be The Exorcist. Just like you said, it honestly is a really scary movie because, like you said, it can happen. You never know. You never know when you're going to look at some. What was that one weird movie where they were looking at dirty magazines in a church and they got possessed? That we watched.
What was that? That was my Not Buster.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that was awful.
But yeah, and then
there you go. There's an example.
Yeah. And then The Haunting in Connecticut, which is
that's a good movie.
It's a great movie.
Is that the one where they move into the old funeral home?
Give me 1 second.
That's
I'll pull up the thing.
It's based on a true story, right?
I think that came out around the same time that Amityville Horror came out.
Yeah, it did. Basically, people. they move into a haunted house and people get possessed.
I think they moved into. That's a good movie. I think it's a.
I can't remember if it was a funeral home or not, but I know it was a haunted like house.
Yeah, the Haunting in Connecticut. There's two different versions.
I like the what year is it? The 2009 version.
Yeah, not only was the house a transformed funeral parlor when inconceivable acts occurred, but yeah, that's the one. That's a great movie.
Mm-hmm. And then Train to Busan, which I really like. It's a zombie movie based in Korea, and they're on a train when the zombie outbreak happens.
Oh.
And it's a really good. It's more of an action one. Zombie movies don't get me anymore. Scary. I like the action in them.
Right.
Too much time in Walking Dead.
Yeah, basically, I spent too much time watching Dead, where I got desensitized to zombies being scary.
Right.
But Train to Busan is a really good zombie movie if you're looking for a good zombie movie. And if zombie movies still scare you, there you go. Just you got to be okay with reading subtitles because I don't think they have a dub. Next, The Mist, the adaptation of Stephen. I want to say Hawking, but not Hawking.
Stephen King.
Stephen King, one of King's book, The Mist. I thought the movie was awesome. It had a lot of unknown people at the time, but then a lot of those people were in The Walking Dead. A lot of people in that movie made it to The Walking Dead. And it ends with, they run out of gas and they're still in the mist, and he has to make the choice to shoot everybody and his son, but he doesn't have a bullet for himself. 20 minutes later, their army rolls by and would have saved him. I thought that was like psychologically like an amazing ending too. The Fourth Kind, the one with Mia Djokovic in.
Oh, that's a scary ass movie.
Yeah.
That's a good call.
What was it? It was in
It's in Alaska.
I left out
any kind of alien movies, but that's an awesome movie.
That movie scared me. That movie really scared me.
Yeah, it scared me too. Yeah, that's a good movie. Good call.
Friday the 13th.
That reboot wasn't bad either.
Friday the 13th reboot. Yeah, it wasn't bad.
It wasn't bad. I still love the original. I watched it the other night.
I was gonna say mine's more the original.
Yes.
I have the Halloween, the 2018 reboot, the good reboot. Not the last two that were not the best, but the good one.
Oh, you mean? Oh, okay. So the one. Okay, I know what you mean.
The one where he breaks out of the prison.
Right, I gotcha. And comes after her. And then, is that the one where they burn him in the basement, but he's not really burned in the basement?
But somehow he survives in the basement.
Yes.
With it on fire.
That's where they should have just ended it right there.
That's where they should have ended it, not made two more movies.
Right.
Jeepers Creepers 2, because I think Jeepers Creepers 2 is better than Jeepers Creepers 1.
Is that the bus?
That's the bus one.
That's the bus one. That is a good one.
I thought it was better personally. It was more action packed, I guess, and you got to see the monster more, in my opinion.
I will say a bit of unknown trivia. The original Jeepers Creepers was filmed down the road from where I used to live in Florida.
Really?
Yes, it was filmed in the Denellen area. They filmed all of that in Florida. It's the same patch of road. It's called High School Road, I think is what it's called. And I used to live like a mile or two from that road.
If I was driving down that road, I'd be like, we got to turn around.
So I wish I would have when they were filming it, but I had never heard of those people. Now knowing that Justin Long was in it, it kind of makes it kind of shitty. It's like, damn, I probably could have met Justin Long. You know what I mean?
And you could have seen the set of actually a good movie.
Yes, instead of Terror Squad.
Well, that's just downtown Kokomo. Speaking of turning around, my next one's Wrong Turn.
I almost put that on my list.
Wrong Turn was one of the first scary movies I was allowed to watch.
Dude, those booger-eating redneck moron half-breeds, right?
What's more scary than making a wrong turn, your car breaking down, and all of a sudden you're being hunted by a bunch of inbred?
Yeah, right. That's a true story. Oh, yeah, I almost put that on my list. It didn't make it, but it was considered. Let's put it that way.
I have on Blu-ray. I have all of the movies. There's like a box set. There was a box set, and I bought the box set.
I didn't know there was a box set of Wrong Turns.
There's like 4 movies.
How many wrong? You can make 4 Wrong Turns.
They made 3
Yeah, but
wrong
then
movies
don't you
though.
eventually get back on the same road at that point?
Well, no, because they like trap you. They like knock down trees and stuff.
Dude, that's legit scary. I know, like a couple years ago, I guess it was during COVID when everything was shut down. I drove down to Kentucky to go take pictures, and you know me, I don't stay on the main roads. I
No,
take
you
back.
go back
I go,
roads.
dude, and I was like, holy shit, my fuel light came on, and I was like, oh my god, I hope I can make it to a gas station. I hope I can
All
make
of a
it to a
sudden, you
gas
hear
station.
banjo music.
Dude, right? I mean, that's true story. Good call. Good call on that one too.
This is the one that I'm a bit iffy on, but I think it's a really good scary movie. Krampus. If you're gonna watch it, make it your last one. You're 31. I liked Krampus because evil Santa Claus. Come on now,
Well,
and it had
there's
a
Black
it had like
Christmas for that.
there's a Krampus
Silent
has
Night.
an all-star cast too.
Does it really?
Yeah, hold on. Let me pull
Is
up the
it
cast.
is it a Christmas movie or is it a horror movie?
It's both.
Is it?
Yeah, hold on. Let me it's a 2015 movie. It's got Adam Scott, David Kushner, the guy that he does a lot of movies with. He did Anchorman, is what you
Okay.
probably remember from.
Right.
Um,
I know who he is. Is he freaking the bald guy?
yeah, the bald guy.
He was Todd Packer in The Office. He always plays like a loud a-hole.
Yep. And then another person. It had Conchetta Ferrell, who was the maid in Two and a Half Men.
Okay.
And then Justin Roiland from Rick and Morty was in it. Who I forgot he was in it. But yeah, a great movie. If you're looking for both a Christmas movie and a Halloween movie, there's your movie.
Okay.
Next is Trick or Treat.
Of course.
Of
One
course.
of I think it is the most underrated horror / Halloween movie ever made.
I think in the last few years it's really made a comeback of people realizing how good it was.
I mean, you can get the costume.
You can
for Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's awesome. Yeah, actually, I've got Josie. God bless her. She got me a trick or treat T-shirt for Christmas last year.
Nice.
Yeah, so I've got a trick or treat T-shirt. I'm pretty stoked. So I'm gonna be wearing it all October. I think I'm gonna be wearing it to Headless Horseman night. Actually,
are you gonna wear it to work?
Yeah, I might wear it.
Are you sure you're allowed to wear it to work?
If I can, yeah, I'll wear it to work. I'll give a shit. To not be on camera and talk to people.
My next 2 movies, I'll just say them together. Thing 1, and then the prequel sequel movie to The Thing.
The Thing. Which one's The Thing?
That's the one where they're in Antarctica and then like the
oh yeah, that is a
thing.
Good movie. Yeah.
Yeah, and I like both of them. Kurt Russell, and then the second one has it's like the prequel.
Is that what that is? I didn't see it, but it's a prequel to the first one.
Yeah, it's a prequel to the first one, and it's got Mary Elizabeth Winstead in it.
Oh,
she's the big name. She's the only person like you'll probably know from that movie.
Okay. I had stayed away from the alien type movies, but
understandable.
But you're making a great argument for all of them. So there's
I
no
went
wrong
for
answer.
what
I don't think there's no wrong answers here.
Scary.
Yeah.
And that's about it, really. I'm gonna do like the next. The next 2 would be the Conjuring 1 and the Conjuring 2. I like the Conjuring 2.
I like the Conjuring 2 as well. I really did.
And then Insidious and then Insidious 2.
Is that the one with the kid with the tiptoes to the two?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I like it. I liked all those movies. They were kind of I saw scary movies were kind of dipping, and then Insidious and The Conjuring came out and shot them back up.
Right.
On that same vein, The Nun, the first one. I
really?
haven't seen the second yet. I liked it, but I'm also you got to think I'm Catholic, so.
Oh, okay. Well,
or I was Catholic. I don't know.
Nothing scarier than a nun with a wooden fucking ruler.
Exactly.
A nun with a
and this nun wants to kill you.
Right.
Next is The Descent. If you haven't
I always heard that. I have not seen
really
that.
Good. If you're claustrophobia, You're in a cave being chased by monsters. What's scarier than
Wasn't there
that?
a second
I
one?
can be down with that.
There's like two other ones.
Oh,
But they were both like direct to DVD.
Oh, the other Descents were. I remember when the
Yeah.
Descent came out.
Highly suggest it. I think it's what is it on? I know I saw it on something. It's on Hulu. The Descent is on Hulu.
Oh, okay. I've got Hulu.
And then As Above, So Below, where they go into the French catacombs underneath Paris, the Paris catacombs.
Oh.
Yeah, I watched
Dude,
that.
people get lost there.
Yeah,
That
that's a real
really
thing.
happens.
That was so good. I wish there was just a few more like answered questions in that movie, but that's okay.
But I don't care. It was a scary movie. Next is Sinister. Same vein as The Conjuring and Insidious.
God, that movie scared the shit out of me. I'm not gonna lie.
The next movie, let's go back to inbredness. The Hills Have Eyes.
The original or the remake?
The I didn't know there was an original. I know
Yeah,
like
back
the
in
one
the
that came out.
70s.
Oh, I'm talking about the one in like the 2000s.
That's a good one. That's a reboot.
Yeah.
But it
The
is
second
good.
one's good, but the second one's more of an action movie, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And another one that you probably didn't think of, or maybe you thought of it and didn't think about to put it on it because of Aliens, Pandorum.
Let's see it.
Pandorum is the movie where they send a colony ship off and then Earth explodes or everybody on Earth dies. And then like people start going crazy and it's been like a million years and they think it's aliens, but it's more like people adapted to surviving on the ship with no power so they could like see in the dark. So it's like humans that evolved and they were like hunting the regular humans who were like slowly waking up from their cryo sleep. Really good movie. It's got I can't think of his name. I'm really bad with names today. It's got Dennis Quaid in it and Ben Foster.
Oh, Dennis Quaid. I love
And
Dennis Quaid.
Norman Reedus is in it, but this is also Norman Reedus right at the beginning of The Walking Dead fame.
Oh, okay.
Next, Ghost Ship.
Dude, that's a good movie.
That is a great movie.
That's another underrated movie. Not as underrated as Trick or
It
Treat.
starts off with a bang with everybody getting chopped in half out on the dance floor with cable, metal wire.
Except the little girl, the little wire goes across and cuts everybody in half. That opening sequence is.
And I had a new fear unlocked at that day when I first saw that.
What, going on a ship and getting cut in half by a wire?
Yep.
What an opening scene.
It was actually a thought on my cruise. Next, probably the most underrated scary movie of all time, in my honest opinion, 13 Ghosts.
That's a good movie too. With Tony Shalhoub and
Yep.
Shaggy from
Yep.
Scooby-Doo, yeah.
And
that's a good movie.
It's just a good old fashioned scary killer movie.
I agree.
I'll do my top. I kind of adjusted my list as I was going, so I got a top 5.
Okay.
Number 5 would be Bird Box. I really like
that
Bird
was
Box.
good.
I know some people think it's dumb. I really liked it. The sequel sucked. I don't know if you've seen the sequel, but the sequel sucked.
I didn't bother with the sequel.
But I thought the original had a really good idea. You know, that was a kind of really original movie. And it was, the scary part was you don't know what the monsters are. You just kill yourself. What's scarier than killing yourself?
Right.
Number 4 would be World War Z. Not really a scary movie. The first half is scary, but again, it's a zombie movie. Zombie movies don't get me anymore. I like it more for the action, but I put it on here because zombies are scary to people.
Right.
And World War Z, I love the book. World War Z, if you can skip the movie and read the book, read the book. Number 3 would be 31 Days of Night. That is the one when they're in Alaska.
Oh, yeah.
31 Days of Night, and the vampires start attacking the city.
Right.
Great movie. It would probably be number 1 if it wasn't for these other 2 movies. Okay. Number 2 would be Dawn of the Dead. Dawn of the Dead gave me my love for the remake of Dawn of the Dead. Gave me my love of zombie movies.
Is that one in the mall?
Yes, the one in the mall.
And that's got Ving Rhames in it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know why. I love that movie so much, but it was one of the movies that made me fall in love with zombies. Don't know why I love zombies so much, but I just like it. It's a great genre, and I can't wait for the next good zombie movie. I I watch them all, even if they suck. And then number one would be A Quiet Place.
Okay.
If anybody was counting, I skipped Quiet Place 2. I skipped one, and that was going to be Quiet Place 2. I don't know why I accidentally skipped it, but that was down in the list more. But number one is Quiet Place. I thought that movie was. It kind of came out at the same time as Bird Box. Um,
It's
I
the
don't think
whole
that.
stay quiet or you'll
Yeah,
die.
instead of
Yeah.
not seeing it, you got to stay quiet.
Yeah, that was
And
good. It had a lot of jump scares in it.
yeah, that's why I like jump scares. Get me all the time. I don't care who
yeah.
you are. But yeah, that's my list. Take
Good
it or leave it.
list.
I
That
know.
was good. I like that. I was impressed. I like that you were different. Like we didn't have all of exactly the same movies. So
Yep.
it just shows you how many good
Well,
horror
and you got
movies
to
there
think
are out
also.
there.
You and I grew up in different eras. You grew up more in the slasher era, while I
Yes.
grew up more in the zombie. Zombie era.
Yeah, you're right. You're exactly right because the
And
80s was slasher films.
and I would have put Walking Dead. I almost put Walking Dead on here and said Walking Dead until uh up into a certain season.
I mean, there are so many. Like, there's Fright Night is a great. It's almost like a comedy
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
That
Fright Night.
the original Fright Night.
Oh, I don't think I've seen the original.
The original is the best. It is so good. Um, it's got the guy from The Princess Bride. The Prince Humperdinck.
Yeah, I can't think of his name.
Yeah, Chris something or other. Chris
Chris,
whatever.
me,
Yeah, no,
you.
Chris. His name's Chris.
Who's
The
on
actor.
first?
And then who else is in it? The guy from Herman's Head. The chick from Married with Children. It's just a great movie. It's a good movie. It's about a kid who thinks his next door neighbor is a vampire, so he enlists the host of a horror movie show that he watches. Like Sammy Terry or Svengoolie.
Mm-hmm.
He
Zach
he.
Bagans.
No, no, no. Like no, the guy introduces scary movies on a TV show.
Oh, okay.
He enlists him to help him uh see if the guy
Got him.
next door is really a vampire or not. So it's really good. It's got its funny moments too. I would almost put it under funny, a funny horror.
Mm-hmm. There's a
Um,
lot of funny horrors.
there are, like I said, there's so many we left off the list. That's one of them.
Hatchet. Have you ever seen Hatchet?
I have not seen Hatchet.
Hatchet is really good. Hatchet has probably one of the top. You know how in Halloween the latest Halloween movies, it's more about how's he gonna dismember this guy. The best kills. That's
Right.
kind of how that movie was. It was more of just how gruesome can we kill the next person type of movie.
Ah, okay.
And it was really good, but it didn't scare me, so I didn't put it on there.
Right. I mean, like I said, that's what Candyman was kind of like that. It didn't really scare me either.
The remake or the original?
The original.
Yeah.
And that's when started like Candyman came out, but that's when I could say that was probably the last gasp of horror movies in the 90s. Early that was the last gasp there before Scream came out.
Yeah.
They were just kind of grasping at straws with Freddy movies. Freddy came out,
I
and
probably
Halloween, other Halloween movies came out, but that was about it, really.
Scream would be on my honorable mention.
You're strong.
There was
There's
a
a
long
great,
time when I was growing up that you couldn't go trick or treating without seeing 20 people in Scream masks.
well, yeah, of course, but
Another honorable mention, I just thought about it, but I couldn't really put it anywhere. I like my list more. I thought about putting it on, but I couldn't find anywhere to put it. Was The Ring?
yeah, is that the?
No, that's a different one. The Ring is where if you watch the movie, you die in 7 days.
Oh, okay.
You're thinking of The Grudge,
Oh, okay. That was the Grudge. Yeah.
which honestly is a really good one. That was the rise of the Japanese or Asian scary movies.
Right. Let's see here. Amityville, the reboot is scarier than the original. with Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
That one's scarier than the original. I didn't care too much for the original. It was okay. And I know there's a movie. Is it The Changeling? I think it's got George C. Scott in it. There's bits and pieces of that one that was scary, but it was nothing to write home
Slither.
about. Slither. Um,
That falls in the comedy though for me.
right. Let's see. 50 Shades of Grey.
Scary?
Scary.
Scary, yeah.
Can I do
the piano?
You can do one, Tim. Yeah.
Tim, do you have at least a top 10 or do you have 31?
I was while you guys were talking, I was kind of just like thinking of ones that I didn't hear you guys say that I wrote down.
Okay.
So I did have Amityville, like the one from like the 2000s.
The one with Ryan Reynolds in it.
Yeah, that one was.
Yeah, that's a good movie.
The one that ends with him like on the boat.
Yes.
In the water, right? Yeah. Boogeyman. Man, when I saw Boogeyman as a young teen, I went to see it. It was just me and one of my other buddies from school that like lives near me.
Rogerio?
No, it was like one of my middle school friends because I saw it like in middle school, I think, and because it was just me and him that went to see it. And like the whole premise of that Boogeyman movie was like that Boogeyman just hides out in like little. He can come out of like closets and doors and like windows and just like every little like nook and cranny that was a shadow. And of course, me and my buddy sleeping over at my house, it was like everywhere we looked, it was like it was terrible.
When you were a kid, did the stuff on your floor like turn into like the shape of people?
Yeah.
In the darkness.
I had one time I had a nightmare where monsters were creeping out of my closet. So like for years, and I mean years, and it's like even like now, it's like if I have my closet door open, I'm like, oh.
Yeah, I can't have the closet door open, and I can't have shit all over the floor either. So maybe keep my room clean.
I'm okay with crap on my floor, but like for some reason my closet door open gets me.
I also put Grim Cuddy on my list because it was pretty. It wasn't like super terrifying, but like it had a few like scary moments to it. And then I put Tremors because after I saw Tremors for the first time, I was just afraid. I was afraid to just walk anywhere. and my room's in the basement as well, so
you're fucked.
God, I used to hate to go down the basement, especially my grandma's house. Oh my god, it was terrifying.
I zoom in my parents' house when I turn the basement lights off. I zoom up those stairs.
Oh god, we had shit like a cellar, which was just a little room, a little. Oh man, that place scared the hell out of me because it was unfinished.
And then I put, not that this is a scary movie, but I put all of the Halloween Towns because those are just fantastic Halloween movies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those are fantastic.
They're all good movies, every one of them. And then as the best honorable mention, Chris, you'll like this. Next Generation Frame of Mind when Riker thinks he's going crazy.
Oh my god.
That's a good one.
It starts off with him in the play, and then it just shifts over to him like being crazy, locked up in that institution.
That is a good one, right there.
You know what's a good one that you probably don't hear a lot of? It's called Darkness Falls, and it is about the Tooth Fairy.
Oh, that's a good one. Like the Tooth Fairy is actually evil.
Evil, yes. That is a scary movie, and it's PG-13. So, I enjoyed that one. Darkness Falls came out in 2003. That is a good movie. Emma Caulfield's in it. How do I know her?
Wasn't it like she'll show up if it's dark, and so they have to like keep the lights on?
Keep the lights on, yeah.
There was another movie. They're like on an island, and like it gets foggy, and everybody starts dying or something. I can't remember the name of it, but it was a good one.
Oh, you know what else there's is I Know What You Did Last Summer. Both of those are really good.
Ooh, yeah.
I Know What You Did Last Summer, and I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. Those were good. Um, I mean, like I said, there's just a lot. It's hard to pick.
Mm-hmm.
I picked some of I watch Dracula all day long. Do I think it's not spectacular, the Bela Lugosi Dracula, but God, it just without that movie, I don't think we have the horror films we have today.
Mm-hmm.
I really believe that was just the starting point. I know some people pick King Kong as a scary movie or Jaws Jaws is not a horror movie to me.
No, not to me either. It's more of just a.
You know, it's funny. I almost wrote Jaws down just because I put Tremors in, and I was like, well, it's kind of like the same thing. And I was like, well, not really, because I'm not swimming out in the open water every day. However, I am walking around on the ground every day.
Dude, have you ever seen Open Water?
Oh, is that the one where she like stuck on like the?
I think it was Deep Blue Sea. I was thinking of putting on.
Oh, Deep Blue Sea's good too.
Yeah.
Just
Open
because
Water's the one where they go scuba diving and people get on the boat and they get counted twice, so two people get left out in the open water.
Oh yeah.
It's based on a true story. See, what you call it? What's the movie? Jaws. It is listed as thriller, adventure, mystery thriller on IMDb. So, Creepshow's another good one. That's a good one.
Cabin in the Woods.
Yeah, Cabin in the Woods is good.
The Menu is really good too.
Cocaine Bear.
I don't know if it's like a scary movie, but I feel like I remember Secret Window being kind of a creepy movie with Johnny Depp.
Oh yeah, I wasn't big on that one.
I think it was like there's like a killer around, blah blah blah. It turns out he was the killer the whole time.
Can't leave out Alien or Aliens. Those were really good.
Yeah. What about the Jordan Peele movies,
Predator?
Nope and Us?
They were more thriller, I think, than
Were they?
horror. I think so.
I haven't seen either of them, but I heard people say they were really good.
The Shining.
I forgot about The Shining.
Rad Rom.
What's that movie? Is it Room 203?
Room 1313?
1408.
1408. That's a really good one.
Some people have Silence of the Lambs as a horror movie too.
I almost put that one on my list, Tim, but I couldn't in the end. It would have been an honorable mention.
I feel like it's more like suspenseful than it is like scary.
Yeah.
Because it's not like anything like comes flying out of a door at him or anything like that. It's just like he can't get out of the room.
Yeah.
The scariest part was when he was like outside the window and he went to the other window and he was back in the same room. Like that was probably like the scariest part because if he fell, he'd be dead.
Yeah, there are two different Shinings. There's the Jack Nicklaus Shining, which is classic, Stanley Kubrick.
Nicholson.
Yeah, didn't they make a new one
golfer.
recently?
I said the
or
golfer.
Like a sequel?
1997. Yeah, Dr. Sleep. I never saw it though. It's just long. I think. They did a TV movie with Steven Weber.
Godfather.
Shut the hell up.
It's long.
Steven Weber and Rebecca De Mornay did a TV version of The Shining, like a miniseries, just 3 episodes. That's a good movie. Yeah, Dr. Sleep. Let me look it up. You asshole. It's long.
Well, let's be honest. Chris complains about long movies, but
2
then
hours
he'll sit down and watch all 3 Godfather movies, which are 4 hours apiece.
He's like, you know what I did this weekend? I watched all 3 Godfathers 4 times. What did you guys do?
Oh, I watched Dune. Oh, you watched a 3.5 hour
Oh
movie.
God, that movie's slow as hell.
So this is Godfather.
It's 3 hours of, you know what? I could put a static camera out in the middle of the freaking Sahara Desert. It would be more interesting watching people in that desert than watching freaking Dune.
Did you, Chris, did you end up watching Langoliers?
I have not watched the Langoliers yet.
You need to watch it.
Because I feel like it could maybe be a scary movie.
It might be. Dr. Sleep, yeah, it's 2.5 hours long, which really ain't as long as I thought it was. It just, I guess every time I tried to start it, it was always late.
Who's the star in Dr. Sleep?
Ewan McGregor.
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
That I knew. I was like, I feel like I remember seeing something. I mean, that'd be kind of scary.
Ooh, you know what it is? It's not a movie, but it was kind of scary. That what was it, House on Haunted Hill? Was it or Haunting the Hill House? That miniseries on Netflix.
Oh yeah.
That is a good miniseries.
Or the Zach
Really good.
Bagans movie Hell House.
Oh, that was good too. Yeah, but that was legit. That was like real though.
And that's why it was scary.
Like Hereditary. What was the other one? Like Hereditary. Midsummer.
I feel like isn't like the
Those are kind
collection
of.
kind of creepy too?
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd say it's like scary, but it's like one of those like monster kind of things.
Oh, what's the Barbarian? Did you see that one?
No.
That's got
Oh,
Justin. What's his name in it? Long. What's his name?
what
He
about
gets a Airbnb, and this other girl stays in it like it's like it was booked twice, and like creepy shit starts happening, and they find this tunnel, and there's some wackadoodle that lives in the basement of this house where they were at this Airbnb. It's a good movie. It's on Max as well
what about
and Hulu.
Blair Witch? I feel like that's a pretty scary movie.
That was in my top 5.
All right, I don't think
I think that's when he left.
my
A
mother
Smile. Smile's a good
I
one.
had to go. You know, I still want to go watch Smile,
Smile's
but
good.
honestly,
Black
it's
Phone.
like it's so creepy. I'm like, I don't even want to watch it because I'm gonna end up watching it at like 2 a.m.
Black Phone is good. X is good. That's got what's her Wednesday Adams in it. Jenna
Chris can't,
Ortega.
Chris can't watch that though.
Brittany Snow is in it too, which she's from Pitch Perfect. She shows her boobies for those who want to see her boobies. Um, that's a good movie too. It's got old people sex in it too. You'll enjoy that, Tim, because you're into kinky ass shit. Probably I don't watch old people have sex. Um,
51st dates, you said. 51st dates.
50 First Dates is scary.
Say 50 Shades of Grey, but
Like there's all kinds of good stuff out there. Don't Breathe is another one. That's more suspenseful than horror.
oh, what about I feel like Pitch Black. I mean, I know it's like probably more action, but I mean it's pretty fucking creepy. Pretty fucking
Pitch
scary.
Black? Yeah, Pitch Black's really good.
What about
I
Megan?
don't I don't think Chronicles of Riddick would be like I would consider that one scary, but Pitch Black was definitely like
Yeah,
scary.
it went from like kind of scary movie to more
I mean,
let's get actiony.
I still think Chronicles of Riddick was better than Pitch Black, but
Well, I think the third one's even better than
I don't
Chronicles
think
of
I've
Riddick.
seen the third one.
What about
The third
Megan?
one's really good.
You gotta add Megan, the
Yeah.
AI doll that goes crazy.
I have this picture of Chris. Does that count on our
Which
list?
Chris?
With a K.
Oh yeah, that was scary. I got a
Okay,
picture of myself
then you
shirtless. That's scary. That broke my phone.
Orphan. That was kind of weird. The Orphan, right? Don't forget. So the cheesy ass chopping movie. There was a movie I loved from the '90s. It was called Chopping Mall. So it like they like hyped this up as this horror movie, right? Called Chopping Mall, and all it was literally was like security robots that went crazy in a mall. So it was nothing like what you expect. We watched it on like I think it was me and my dad and my brother watched it. It was on like a Cinemax or something. It was like on late at night, and stayed up and watched Chopping Mall.
It was right after they watched a porn as a family.
And then,
Oh no, it's official. Taylor Swift will be at the Jets Chiefs game.
oh, holy, who gives a shit? Guys, is that from ESPN? Probably because they got nothing else to write about.
They literally post the most ridiculous things sometimes I get from ESPN.
Right?
Because
Sometimes
they're
I
trying to
get
stay relevant.
most ridiculous like notifications, and I'm like, what does this have to do with any sport? I can't think of a good example, but I'll think of one and put it in the group chat later. I've gotten a notification before where I'm like, it's like Mars. It's on its closest approach this weekend, and I'll be
Right.
like, what?
Okay, so this movie you got to see. It is on. I've got it on my list on Peacock. It's 1990. Nobody famous in it whatsoever. Frankenhooker.
Frank.
A medical student sets out to recreate his decapitated fiancée by building her a new body made of Manhattan Street prostitutes.
I feel like you're just leading us down a rabbit hole to eventually get to some like obscure movie with you in it that's like shot in some.
Yeah, like, walking around in bondage gear, right? And torturing people.
It's gonna be like The Room. He gets found out, and it's like, no, I was actually making a movie the whole time.
I did not hit her. I did not.
Tim, it sounds like you're yelling down a tunnel.
I saw this on late night HBO one night back in the 90s, and it's the most ridiculous movie. I cannot. I'm so excited I found it again. I cannot wait to watch it a second time. It's on Freevee too. Freevee, Plex, Pluto, Tubi. They've all got Frankenhooker. So
So
there's
that's
no
not-
reason why you
Yeah, you feel
cannot
better.
watch this movie. All right. Don't forget Basket Case. Those were
Just-
bad.
I was gonna
Toxic
start.
Toxic Avenger,
I was gonna start wrapping up here.
Maniac Cop, Night of the Demons. There's all kinds of bad shit out there.
There's
whole
so
list-
many. I think
my whole
Peacock
Peacock
scary
list
movies.
is
Go
my whole
ahead.
Peacock list is bad movies, like because they're horror movies.
Well, horror movies, as many like good movies, they have some of the highest highs, but they have the most low lows.
Like I've got
Like
check this list out. Of course, there's Prom Night 2, Body Bags, 100 Ghost Street, The Return of Richard Speck, The Fun House, The Fields, Demon Eye, Ginger Snaps. I hear that's not bad. Deathgasm, Asylum, Twisted Horror and Fantasy Tales, which I think is supposed to be like Trick or Treat, Funhouse Massacre, High School Exorcism, Fear Inc., The Pit, Dark Knight of the Scarecrow, which is actually good.
that sounds
Frankenhooker,
like somebody who writes a bad
Children.
movie website, writes for a bad movie website, and
Black Roses is a movie. A small town teacher saves teenage souls from a heavy metal rocker and his band from hell that uses music to hypnotize and possess the masses. That sounds like a church put this movie out because it came out in 1988 and every rock band was the Satan worshippers. So there's a lot of bad shit out here. I cannot wait to start watching these.
you need to get
The
back on
Scooby-Doo
doing
movie.
your not busters.
Not
The
Busters.
Scooby-Doo movie with the Hex Girls in it. That's a pretty scary movie too. I'm
Oh
just
yeah, I'll
saying.
watch that all the time though.
What?
The Scooby-Doo movie with the Hex Girls. I can't
That
remember.
that movie might have
And
adjusted
Zombie
my
Island.
taste in women for a long time.
I'll
Zombie
tell you,
Island.
coming up next week, I'll do this as a not buster. I've got some on here. There's one called Blades. A peaceful country club becomes the hunting ground for a demonically possessed lawnmower with a taste for human flesh.
I can't wait. There's our hook for next week. You can catch us at, or you can catch us at Pod Nerds. Shut up. You can catch us at Pod Nerds on Twitter, except for me because I'm banned from Twitter still, or X. You can catch us at Facebook at Hoosier Nerds. You can watch and listen to us at YouTube, and you can listen to us at your favorite podcasting sites such as Amazon, iTunes, TuneIn, and Spotify.
Bye.
Who's your nerd?
That's us.
Rhythm.